Hello everyone, I'm back with another video for you. I wanted to share some online resources with you today. I do have a website. It's a little tricky to find, but I'm going to show you what it is and then maybe you can add it to your bookmarks. And then I have a couple of activities and things that I want to share with you from there, and then a couple other things to talk about. So here we are on my music page. Maybe you didn't know this even existed, but it does. The address is right up here, wps.greenwichcsd.org/K6music. So you can add that to your bookmarks. If you're in Chrome, all you have to do is click this little star right here, and it'll let you add it wherever you want. Now, I'm going to take it off. I don't need it. You can also find this on the school's website, but you have to go through like a couple of different links to get there. So easiest if you just bookmark it. But right on my page here, there is some information about the different grade levels. You won't find too much of use there. If you're a chorus member, though, you could click here, and I have all of our chorus songs loaded up if you want to try to sing along and practice them so that we're not super rusty when we come back. But the main thing I wanted to talk about today is this list of activities that I have right here. So I put together a bunch of links of cool online music resources. A lot of these we've used before. Chrome Music Lab is super fun. I'm sure that you all remember some of the activities we've done here. This rhythm one is really neat. The Song Maker is kind of my favorite, but there's a lot of cool little experimental things you can do. These oscillators are really fun also. Let me go back. Staff Wars is a game that you've played if you're in 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th grade to practice your treble clef lines and spaces. DSO Kids is another cool website with a lot of activities, a lot of resources. Practice your own instrument, make your own instrument. There's videos here of different pieces of classical music. There's a lot of instrument information, composer information. 5th graders maybe recognize this is the website that we used to find out about composers. So another great resource there, DSO Kids. Visual Musical Minds is a YouTube channel. That's where I get all my clapping activities from, if you've done those, maybe 1st, 2nd, 3rd graders. It also has some great recorder videos that you can play along with, so that might be something good for 3rd graders. PBS Kids is a bunch of fun activities for kindergarten, 1st grade. Classics for Kids, sort of like the DSO Kids website, has information about composers. It has a bunch of different music games that you can play. It also has some podcasts that are pretty cool if you want to listen to some things like about composers. This one is What's a Concerto? And then there are activity sheets and things to go along with that. So that's another cool one. And let's see what's left. Oh, Groove Pizza. Groove Pizza is really fun. I don't think you're going to be able to hear the music if I try to play it. But you can add different things to this and make shapes. And then when you play it, you get some cool rhythm patterns. I don't know if you heard that. I bet you heard that loud feedback squeal. So there you go. Some web resources that are really fun. Along with that, I've also listed some activities that do not require a screen, which I feel very strongly about, even though I'm sharing all this information with you via a screen right now. Really important to step away from your tech devices and just do some real-world stuff. So you could create a musical instrument with materials around your house. You could create a band with kitchen utensils, pots and pans. That's always fun, especially if you want to drive your parents crazy. You could just pay attention to where you hear music during the day and try to make a list. This would be a little more interesting probably if you could go out in public, but even around your house, I think you'll be surprised how many spots music comes into your daily life when you maybe don't even notice. Number 4 I'm going to talk about here in a second, but let's skip to 5, which is to have an adult find a song for you without words, or maybe you can find one. I will make a playlist of some of these on my YouTube channel soon. And listen to some music and draw a picture. Whatever that music puts in your head, make a drawing or a painting or just a sketch. This is an activity we do sometimes at school when we're talking about jazz or when we talk about program music. It's fun, especially if you're really artistically inclined and you enjoy drawing. It's a fun way to get your brain into a different mode. Number 6 is fun too. Choose a song that you love. Make up your own dance routine or a lip sync performance. If you do one of those, I would love to see a video. I enjoyed seeing some dance videos. I saw a couple of performance videos from a rhythm activity that I posted earlier this week as well. So yeah, if you do a dance routine or a lip sync, let me see it. Now I want to go back to number 4. This is what I'm going to talk about for a few minutes here. This says interview an adult about music. Ask them some questions about music when they were growing up. Take notes and be ready to share. So here are some questions you could ask. Did you have a favorite song as a kid? Do you have a favorite singer or a band? How did you listen to music? Did you have music in school? All those kind of questions. So I want to talk about myself. This is your interview with me based on those questions. I have a hard time sometimes remembering that far back, but there are like little moments from time to time that I remember, and there are songs that I associate with different periods of my life. So what I did was I made a playlist on my YouTube channel, and you are on my YouTube channel right now if you're watching this. So if you go here, you can go to playlists, and you'll see a playlist here that I made called Mr. C's Favorites. So I'll tell you about the songs that I put on this list, and it is not a complete list by any means. But when I was a kid, when I was really little, I don't honestly remember having favorite songs. My grandpa listened to a lot of like march music, and so I would ride in the car with him, and we would hear like ba 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 dum bum 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 ba bum ba. He liked that kind of stuff and Italian music. When I got a little older, and then I started to get cassette tapes, which was the main way that we listened to music in the 90s along with CDs. So cassette tapes were like a little thing. They were about this big, and you put them in your player, which was called a Walkman, and then you could listen to your tapes. And so one of the first tapes I had was the Rolling Stones' Greatest Hits. And I remembered that I used to sit out in the hammock like on summer vacation, and I would play my Rolling Stones tape, and I would listen to it while I was reading books or just listen to it. So this is one of my favorite Rolling Stones songs off that tape that I specifically remember. And then I've told this story to some of you before, but in about 5th, 6th grade, there was a kid on my bus who was really into the guitar, and he shared with me this Jimi Hendrix tape that he had. And I was like, ooh, I got to get that. So I went to the store and I bought the same tape. And I think this was the very first song at the beginning of the tape, All Along the Watchtower by Jimi Hendrix. And that was kind of one of the things that started to get me into guitar when I was a kid. And then I got my own guitar in about 6th or 7th grade. And I got really into it. That's what I would do. I would come home from school and play my guitar. So obviously the music that I liked when I got to be a teenager was mostly guitar music. So I have a couple here that I've shared. White Room is by the band Cream. Maybe you've heard Eric Clapton. It was the name of the guitar player in that band. And Blue Sky, which was like my ultimate favorite song when I was probably like 15, 16, 17. It's just got an amazing guitar solo in the middle of it. I still love it today. And then I just added one other song that is very different from those first three. These are all very old songs. This is from the 1960s, the 1960s. Blue Sky is from 1972. But I started to get into some more music from some of my friends in high school that was a little more current. And so one of the bands that was popular in Voorheesville, where I grew up, and especially around the time that I was in high school, which was like the late 1990s until about 2002, this band Guster. And so they had this great album called Lost and Gone Forever that my friends and I were like obsessed with. And this song Fa Fa is one of the really cool ones from that album. So I've included that as well. But yeah, I listened to cassettes until I got a little older, maybe about 7th or 8th grade. And then I started to just listen to CDs, and I collected lots and lots of CDs. We used to have this like tower thing that was like a bookshelf, and all the CDs would go in it. And the more CDs you had, the cooler you were. but you had to actually own your music. So it's not like now where you have a subscription or something like Spotify, or you just go on YouTube and you can find the song and you don't have to pay anything for it. Back then you had to actually buy your music. So that made it a little different because I didn't have as many choices. I could really only listen to what was on the radio or music that I already owned, which basically depended on how much money I had to buy music. So that's just a little bit about myself when I was a kid and how I listened. The Allman Brothers Band, like I said, Blue Sky was like my all-time favorite song. But I was just really into any artist that had guitar. Just looking to see if I missed any questions here. We did have music in school. I played the saxophone when I was in band. I don't remember a lot from elementary school music, which is funny because I teach elementary school music. But I do remember that my music teacher, Dr. Morgan, she used to let me play the piano in class once in a while. And so I would play songs for my friends. And one of the first songs that I remember playing and performing was Piano Man by Billy Joel. So I guess that's another song that I really liked as a kid. We did do some dances, I remember that. And I do remember playing some xylophones and metallophones. But that's about all I really remember, weirdly, from being a kid in elementary music class. I wish I remembered more because I bet there was some cool activities that we could do. So it's been a good talk. I hope that you go ahead and listen to some of these songs that I've shared on my channel. And maybe later this week or this weekend, I'll make a new playlist of wordless music that you could draw or paint to, because that would be kind of a fun activity as well. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so that you'll get these new videos as soon as they come out. And I'll see you next week. Bye.